Hello there, my name is Matthew Garcia. This is my video for my primary IV infusion checkoff. I'm going to go ahead and start by showing you my medication chart that I have here completed. And I also have the BMS patient chart that I'm going to be referencing as well. So I have that. I'm going to go ahead and begin. So the first thing I'm going to do is verify the prescription or check the prescription with the healthcare provider and any allergies. And then I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. Hello there, my name is Matt. I'll be your student nurse for today. Can I have your name and date of birth? So Anna Pawlowski, May 5th, 1957. Okay, just verify that wristband, verify that computer. I'm going to go ahead and check any allergies. So penicillin, your reaction is hives. Okay, verify that wristband, verify the computer. So today I'm going to be giving you IV infusion. It's going to be 0.9% sodium chloride, and all that is going to do is just increase your total body fluid. I'm going to go ahead and start by doing the 6 patient rights. So the right patient, which is Anna Pawlowski, right drug, which is 0.9% sodium chloride, right dose, which is 125 milliliters per hour. Route is IV continuous, time is 14:58, and the right documentation as well. Now, I'm going to go ahead and perform proper hand hygiene. So after proper hand hygiene, I'm just going to go ahead and inspect the IV site for any infiltration or phlebitis, which there's none. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. I'm going to go ahead and check the IV bag for any particulates or cloudiness, as well as the expiration date. I see it's not expired, so I'm gonna go ahead and label the IV bag, and I'm gonna make sure to prepare the medication properly by making sure I have the correct IV solution, which is 0.9% sodium chloride, which it is. I'm gonna go ahead and label the bag with the dose, which is 125 milliliters per hour, the drug, which is 0.9% sodium chloride, time, which is 14:58, my initials, and the route or the date, which is May 11, 2020. So after I've labeled that bag, I'm gonna go ahead and verify 6 rights again. So Anna Pawlowski, IV primary 0.9% sodium chloride, dose 125 milliliters per hour, route, which is IV continuous, time is 14:58, and proper documentation as well. So after verify 6 patient rights again, I'm going to go ahead and gather the proper materials, which is the primary IV line, saline flush, the labels and the IV bag, gloves, and alcohol pads. So after I've gathered those materials, I'm going to go ahead and calculate the drip rate. So the drip rate is going to be the total volume of milliliters, which is 125, over the amount of minutes, which is 60, over times the drop factor of the IV tubing, which is 10. So it is 21 drips per minute, which is calculated. I'm going to go ahead and perform proper hand hygiene. I'm going to go ahead and open up the IV tubing, which I already have, and make sure the roller clamp is all the way closed. After I make sure it's all the way closed, I'm going to go ahead and label the primary IV tubing with the time, date, and initial. After that, I'm going to go ahead and attach the spike to the IV bag without contaminating it. I'm going to go ahead and hang up the IV bag, which I already did as well. And after that, I'm going to go ahead and fill the drip chamber to 1/3 to halfway full. After filling it up, I'm going to go ahead and prime the IV tubing. After I prime it, make sure it's closed again, clamped. I'm going to go ahead and make sure there's no air bubbles after I prime it. If there's any air bubbles, I'll just flick the tubing to mobilize the air bubbles and make it go through the drip chamber and out of the primary IV tubing. After there's no more air bubbles, I'm going to go ahead and perform proper hand hygiene. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my gloves. And I'm gonna make sure I have my end of the tubing. Saline flush and the alcohol pad. I'm gonna first start by opening up the alcohol pad. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the injection port of the saline lock. I would clean it for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds has passed by, okay, I'll allow it to air dry. After it's done air drying, I would go ahead and take the cap off the saline. I would go ahead and properly inject. I would go ahead and attach it to the saline lock, and I would unclamp the saline lock as well. Unclamped, and I would go ahead and aspirate for blood. Once I see, go ahead and aspirate. Once I see blood return, I'm gonna go ahead and slowly inject 3 milliliters of saline. So I'm gonna go ahead and slowly inject 3 milliliters of saline. Okay. After that, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the saline flush. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cap this. This is the end of the primary tubing, sterile end. Go ahead and remove the cap. And I would go ahead and attach it to the saline lock. Alright, once it's secured, I'm gonna go ahead and tape it down. Secured to the wrist of the patient. Now, after securing it, I'm gonna go ahead and adjust the roller clamp to 21 drips per minute. I'm gonna go ahead, have my watch. The roller clamp. Okay, so I've adjusted it to 21 drips per minute. And then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and monitor the patient, make sure that the infusion rate is proper, correct. I'm gonna go ahead and test the IV site for any infiltration or phlebitis, which there isn't. And then I'm gonna go ahead and document the assessment findings. And after that, I would go ahead and return. After it's all finished, I would go ahead and return to the, take off my gloves first. So after it's all done, I would go ahead and return to the room, close the clamp of the IV tubing, and then I would make sure to come back with alcohol pads, gloves, saline flush, and a red cap for the primary IV tubing. And then after I have that, I'm gonna go ahead and perform proper hand hygiene. So once I've done proper hand hygiene, I'm gonna go ahead and apply my gloves. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the saline lock. Secure this to the IV pole. After that, I'll get my alcohol pad wipe. Clean it for 30 seconds again. After 30 seconds pass by, allow it to air dry. And then I would insert my saline flush to the sink. And then I'm just going to slowly inject 3 milliliters of saline. So once I've administered 3 milliliters of saline, I'm going to go ahead and remove it. And then I would be all finished and close the clamp on the saline lock and remove it, and I'll discard the supplies appropriately, and then I would just make sure the patient is comfortable, ensure the safety, and I would remove my gloves after I discarded everything to its proper place and perform proper hand hygiene. And that concludes my primary IV checkoff. Thank you very much.